I'm David Daniel Ball, and these are the headlines for Thursday, the 12th of March 2009. Quiet German teenager kills 15 in school rampage. Or Coppola's whistleblower claims government is punishing her. Questions over Labour's donors' development deal. Crowding blamed for teenager's rape. You'll have to pay for your bonus, warns Costello. Housing prices are set to skyrocket. Police seize video of Stewart confrontation. The Australian cricket team prepares for South African clean sweep. A broker's report says job losses at the National Australia Bank are inevitable. Underbelly 3 being penned. Man smashed with gun during home invasion. Gunman kills 10 in small town Alabama. 100 charges laid in one of Australia's worst animal cruelty cases. Victorian police fudge crime figures. And in comments, New South Wales hospitals a shameful disgrace. It's almost boringly repetitive, but the ongoing crisis in the New South Wales hospital system should not be forgotten, according to Alan Jones. No room for idiocy in harsh economic climate from Piers Akerman. Climate Change Minister Penny Wong has increased the Rudd government's carbon footprint exponentially with the release of her 374-page emissions trading scheme legislation. Click at the link to see the fascinating article. From Tim Blair, it's all happening. The ABC's Lisa Miller interviews global warming Will Steffen, it seems that science is saying that what we thought was happening is definitely happening. It's happening a whole lot faster than anyone thought. I think she thinks it's happening. Moo taxes mooted. European aims to turn cattle into cash cows. A cow tax of €13 per animal has been mooted in Ireland, while Denmark is discussing a levy as high as €80 per cow. Kingdom disunited. Islamist extremists shout abuse at British soldiers. Supporters of the soldiers respond. Obama whitewashed. Big news in The Age and Sydney Morning Herald. A right-wing pundit has been caught red-handed manufacturing controversy after claiming US President Barack Obama's Wikipedia page was being whitewashed in a scandal that fooled big news outlets, including Fox News. The fellow seems to be some kind of low-level net identity. It's not as though either The Age or Sydney Morning Herald would ever manufacture controversy about an American politician. Your taxes, their stimulus, from Andrew Bolt. The farce of the stimulus that couldn't continues. Chinese workers aren't the only foreigners getting the most benefit from Rudd's billions. Barbara Tokley was grateful, if a little embarrassed, to receive $1,400 from Rudd government as part of its stimulus package to bolster the Australian economy. Trouble is, she's not an Australian citizen, she's not lived here since 1969, and she has spent every cent stimulating the New Zealand economy. The warming show the ABC should have made. Keith Orchison on yet more ABC warming propaganda. ABC Television's Four Corners program on carbon permit trading on Monday was the classic missed opportunity and shows yet again how the inbuilt biases of key editorial staff prevent the corporation from doing a really good job of informing the Australian community. There is a far better program waiting to be made. It would start with the fact Kevin Rudd and co. came to office thinking global warming policy was a big free hit over the coalition. What they didn't understand was that Howard and his cabinet had spent most of a decade wrestling with the concept and finding it unworkable in Australia's trading mode. And that's a good program even if the ABC keeps its ban on mentioning the world hasn't actually warmed for a decade and sea levels haven't risen for more than 2 years. Rudd pushes China the wrong way. Dan Ryan of Hong Kong's Lion Rock Institute wonders what Kevin Rudd is up to. An abridged version of the notorious The Monthly article in which Kevin Rudd blames the financial crisis on neoliberalism has just appeared in the South China Morning Post, raising eyebrows and questions in Hong Kong. In particular, what exactly was Rudd trying to achieve? Was it to satisfy the intellectual exhibitionism of the author, or was the article a too clever by half underhand critique of Hong Kong itself? Gillard, too much even for unions. It seems even unions agree Julia Gillard's changes to awards could cost jobs. Why are we going to this hate fest? Opposition Foreign Affairs spokeswoman Julie Bishop is right. There is no way the Rudd government should go to the UN's latest group hate against West and Israel. The Australian government should not attend the United Nations Durban Review Conference to be held in Geneva on the 20th to the 24th of April due to the obvious potential for a repeat of the anti-Semitism that marred the first Durban conference. There is far more of that at the link. That was no interview, Laurie. No Liberal leader can expect a fair interview from the Canberra Press Gallery, a few exceptions aside, but Laurie Oakes, in his ill-tempered badgering of opposition leader Malcolm Turnbull on Sunday, made two statements that struck me as particularly unfair, even hypocritical or plain misleading. Here's the first. It is your job to critique the government and Prime Minister, as you say, but why have you involved the Prime Minister's wife? Why have you apparently attacked Theresa Rain? That apparently is the only hint Oakes gives that he knew his statement of fact was actually false. He can read as well as I can and in fact knew that this, in toto, was what Turnbull had in fact said of Kevin Rudd's wife. I congratulate the Rudds, especially Theresa Rain, on their success. Oakes is no fool and would have read those words as I did, not as an attack on Rain, whom Turnbull congratulates, but on her husband's arrant hypocrisy. Why did he misrepresent what Turnbull had in fact said? But here is the other criticism Oakes levelled at Turnbull. People are focused on jobs, I think, and they're surprised the Liberal Party doesn't seem to be. You seem to be focused on the elephant Peter Costello. Really? Who in that interview was in fact focused, like the public, on jobs, and who was obsessed about Costello? Here are Oakes' first 5 questions to Turnbull's interview, and follow the link there. It's got lots of fascinating material. Not proof, but a reason to doubt. Do we really feel as safe now in Victoria as the police statistics claim we should? News Today hints there may be a reason for that disparity. Extorting cash for the left? Hal G.B. Goldpatch is right, of course. The government's proposed compulsory charge of up to $250 for each university student to pay for guilds, clubs and societies will raise about $200 million a year. Much of this money can be expected to find its way to the left to subsidize political campaigns. Yet another Obama pick quits, which is good. Barack Obama loses yet another pick, this time Charles Freeman, who has asked not to be named chairman of the National Intelligence Council. It's astonishing that a man so harsh on Israel and so fawning to terrorist groups should have been considered for this sensitive spot in the first place. What on earth was Obama thinking? And what does the chaos of his attempt to pick a team say about his ability to govern? Killers for their gold. It's a bit hard to portray Guantanamo prisoners as all innocent people, victims of an unjustified Islamophobia and cowering under the brutal heel of their jailers, when 5 of them boast like this. 5 charged with plotting the September 11 attacks say the charges against them are badges of honor, and that killing Americans was an offering to God, in court documents released Tuesday. Isaac Newton would fail for impiety. No, the purpose of science classes is not to teach students the scientific method. A highly regarded international test run by the OECD has been accused of ideological bias for eliciting students' beliefs about the environment and sustainable development rather than knowledge of the underlying science of issues such as greenhouse gases and acid rain. Once science was an enemy of dogma, now dogma is science. Reason is in retreat.